Welcome back, Madam Witness. You may kindly take your seat. Madam Witness, once again, may I remind you that you are still on the oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Good afternoon, Madam Sonko.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair.
Yes. You're welcome back.
Thank you.
May I proceed, Madam Chair?
Yes, you can proceed.
Thank you very much. Yes, so I was about to read your appointment, your offer of appointment.
Yes.
As Chief Executive Officer. Since I am pleased to inform you that the Local Government Service Commission has approved your appointment as Chief Executive Officer with effect from 2nd March 2020 at the Carnifing Municipal Council within the Local Government Service. Now, it goes on to state what your functions would be, but it says, with respect to your remuneration, that the position is a fixed grade on the Local Government Service and will attract a gross annual salary of $162,000. In addition, you will be entitled to other benefits, including responsibility, telephone, residential, and professional allowance, as well as an official car. You will be paid salary the date you assume duties. Now, these are your benefits as CEO.
Yes.
And this is different from, in your benefit, the telephone allowance is also included.
Yes.
That's different from the credit you are receiving $5,000 every month.
That's right.
And this goes to other directors as well. Is that not the case?
Yes.
So why do you think it's proper?
Yeah, from my experience, because I had, like I said, I was benefiting from telephone credits from Gamtel.
Yes.
And at the same time was receiving telephone allowance as part of my salary.
Yes.
Yes.
I understand that, but do you think that is proper? Because you have your telephone allowance already. And this goes to the directors as well who are receiving telephone allowance and at the same time as well having the credits that are allocated to them, because it's all geared towards the same thing.
I think it depends on the institution, because where I am right now, I am not receiving credit allowances.
It does not depend on the institution. The institution must follow.
Like in the case of the council, if it is an internal policy that has been agreed upon, like in the form of a council resolution or concession.
So when you came in, what was shown to you as legality for the credit allocation?
Nothing.
But as CEO, would you not make it your business to find out for every payment? If it is legal, it is a resolution, it has been discussed, you have been sanctioned by a higher body, and so on and so forth. Maybe that's the starting point. But you found it there, you're not sure whether it is a resolution that council passed or how it came about, but you found a norm there and you proceeded with it?
Yeah, because I was already used to such kind of situation.
Yes, but in a different environment, like I said the last time, before break. If it is done 700 times, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right as long as it is not right. So practice does not mean, like you said, if it is being done and it's a norm or it's a custom, that is not the yardstick for its legality. Do you understand that?
Yes.
There are so many things that we do within our institutions, they do not seem to, they are not necessarily the right thing to do. So maybe, just because it is public funds, do you not think it would have been proper to follow its legality, to know as to what basis they were allocating the credit to the CEO, the deputy, basically the senior management, right?
Yes, you know, I was allocated a telephone.
Yes.
And it comes along with the telephone, the credit.
Yeah, but you have a telephone allowance. Already, you have a telephone allowance that was clearly spelled out to you when you were appointed. That's very clear, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So all I'm just doing is to find out the legality of that allocation, to know how you came about receiving the money together with other directors. You have said it's a practice. I am saying whether you have reviewed that practice to know whether there is a legal basis for the allocation of public funds for credit allowance when credit allowance has already been indicated in your functions, in your benefits.
I suppose that there would be, because they would not just come up with such allowances without having it go through
No, that you get it wrong. They can do that because you have experience. You have told us the Shaban Mari rice donation project, the $1,680,000 that they have spent, if I get it right, to purchase rice, 3,000 bags of rice, 25 kilograms. You had said that they didn't follow due process.
But in the case of allowances to staff, it has to be approved by the establishment. It has to be endorsed by the establishment, and then the general council. Maybe it will stop at the general council. Maybe it would not be forwarded to the ministry for the ministry's final approval. But
who decides the allowances of staff?
Normally it's the council, but the proposal normally comes from management to the establishment.
Who should approve the allowances?
Who should approve?
Like you now as CEO, if you have to have any allowances.
If it is passed at the general council, I believe it should, it should be.
So is it passed, the general council?
No, to be frank, I did not establish that.
You
yes,
don't know.
yes.
So that is the question. You will be coming back, and you can write that down. This is one of the gray areas I want you to shed more light on regarding some of the issues that you would be discussing.
Okay.
Now, I believe that, yes.
Madam Sonko, if you look at the annual plan and budget for 2020, that is the 2020 budget, what you have here as telephone allowances is 141, correct? 141,000 as telephone allowances. And this is supposed to be distributed among how many directors?
For each department.
Yes, this is just the department under your office.
Okay, the CEO, the director of administration,
yes,
and I believe the deputy director.
How many are there?
3 of us.
Yes.
Yeah, I think also the HR, 4.
4.
Yes, HR
so
manager.
If you divide this 4 into this 100 and...
No, the amounts are not equal.
The same.
No, it depends on the category.
All right. So you will provide us with the details so that we know this 141,000, how it was allocated between the 4 directors.
Okay.
Yes.
Councillor, you may proceed.
Yeah, thank you. That is all for this witness. We will call you back for the audit reports. But before that, I have the internal audit report here. Are you familiar with the internal audit reports? When you were there as CEO, were there internal audit reports that were generated? The period you serve as CEO?
Yeah.
Is it a yes?
I think yes, 1 or 2 from from the internal auditor. But you cannot call it a report because it's not detailed, it's just specific to certain issues.
A report must be detailed.
Hmm?
A report is a report. It can be 1 line. It can be 700 pages.
Okay.
To me, a report is a report. It's a report of a certain finding or an exercise or an activity. It's a report. It can be substandard. It can be. It may fail to reach the threshold of what a qualified auditor would probably do, but it's still a report. So why won't you call it a report?
Because it is normally below what we used to receive from the internal auditor at the time. Definitely, you cannot call it a report.
Please go ahead. We're listening.
For which year was that?
No, but let me hear what obtained at the time and your day and your understanding. So what you used to receive was not standard enough.
Yes, that's what I mean. I did not say, but it was not up to the standard that was expected from him.
Are you an auditor?
Please repeat that.
Whether you an auditor?
No.
Are you an accountant?
I did basic accounting.
But you're not qualified to
yes,
be an auditor.
I'm not a chartered accountant, yes.
Accountant. So you have never audited before?
Was I audited before?
You have never audited before?
No.
How do you know it is substandard? It's your opinion.
I guess.
That's why it is dangerous. Madam Sonko. That's why it's dangerous. So we work with what we have.
Okay.
And no, don't get me wrong. You as a CEO, you have all rights to have the opinion that perhaps a certain individual employed to work in the institution doesn't have the capacity. Do you understand that? But there's a procedure for it as well. Have you raised this issue of capacity?
It was raised in
General Counsel.
General Counsel, yeah.
And then what was done to address the issue of lack of capacity at the internal audit department? Did you at council level sit over it with the mayor and the SMT for us to even discuss the issue of trying to elevate and enhance the capacity of the Department of Internal Audit to make sure they function well?
It would be capacity building?
Yes.
Yeah, capacity building would be the first consideration.
Was that done?
In the case that we experienced, no.
No. Is there any reason?
I guess he was not given that opportunity.
The internal auditor?
Yes.
By
the council.
Who in the council?
You know, a resolution was passed to have him removed because he was not performing his responsibilities or executing his duties as expected.
Yes, but when he left, was that situation ever addressed? Did they bring in any person? Was anyone recommended? Did the council have anyone that is qualified to meet the needs of the department?
At one point, I consulted the mayor on it. I asked him, since the internal auditor has left, why not we recommend to the Local Government Service Commission to advertise the position and recruit an internal auditor for the council?
Yes.
Yes.
And what was the response?
Well, it wasn't a positive one.
What do you mean by that?
He said we leave it at that because they might bring in someone who is not politically in line with them.
Is that a factual statement?
From him.
From you?
Yeah, I'm saying what he told me.
But if you were there as a CEO and you received that kind of answer from anyone, What should you do?
I didn't like it. I was pondering over it over and over and over.
But why are you there to cover? You're there to ponder over it and over again.
No, what to do next?
So you didn't know what to do?
I really wanted to write to the ministry.
You run and...
But writing without the council's approval might also land me in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Just like the one that I landed in when I...
But you didn't land in any trouble, Madam Sonko.
It was trouble to me because they said I went against council's wishes. So it was going to be the same thing.
No, but let's get it right. The responsibilities that you have as a CEO are clearly spelled out. The responsibility of council is clearly spelled out. So if you were paid salary every month as CEO, correct?
Yes.
And so the way I see it, interviewing you right now, is that as at the time you came, as far as you were concerned, you were really concerned about your interest.
My?
Interest.
No.
Of course, because you don't want to get into trouble. And getting into trouble would be against your interest. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And so, when that is being done continuously, you are literally putting the interest of the public on the sides.
No.
You had said repeatedly that if you had acted otherwise, you would have landed into trouble. And you have given the example of the kind of trouble that it found you or it got you into in relation to the loan. So I am saying you are employed as an administrator, as a CEO. You are answerable to council, yes. But some of the things that council should do and you believe they should do, you put it in writing. You're right. That there is the need to have an enhanced internal audit department. That these are the problems and therefore you believe that it should be addressed.
I would have written.
But you know what the point is? You did not write. The council wrote through, the mayor wrote through council and challenged and addressed the issue of the capacity of the internal auditor.
That was after he was recommended to be removed from the position.
Yes, by
the council,
who is represented by the mayor.
Yes.
So at least it was a bold step to say that the XYZ is not or doesn't have the capacity. But after that was done, no one did anything to replace the person that is there without having adequate capacity with highly qualified people to do internal. Because no one likes internal audit. And when they came, that's what they said. And we know no one likes internal audit.
I never had issues with the internal audit.
Now we have the memo, internal audit team, 14th of February 2020. You were present in council?
No. I came in March.
In March 2020. Let me see whether... Just hold on a minute. So, you came in March 2020?
Yes.
So for the period January to December 2021, you were there in January 2021?
2021, yeah.
All the way to July?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
We have this audit report. The date is 9th of April 2022. It's for the period covering 1st January to 31st December 2021. It's in relation to, it says, the audit has collected the invoice register and the invoice books issued for the period January to December 2021 and have verified the books of trade license amounts, cost recovery amounts, and the total invoice amount. It says the below are the total invoices served by the license unit collectors and their amounts for the period. Invoice served by the collectors for the period January to December 2021. And this goes on. It says the total number of invoice books issued according to the register is 165 books, Total number of books received or verified by the audit, 127 books. Total unreturned invoice books, 38 books. Total invoice book amount, 76,488,321.97 butut. That is the total number of the value of the 38 books that were never returned. So you are familiar with these invoice books?
I cannot even recall seeing this report.
Yes, but are you familiar with the invoice books that are served to collectors usually?
Yes.
And they have to be accounted for.
They have to be accounted for.
But we are saying there's an outstanding of 38 books, and the value of those books that are outstanding is 76,488,321.97 butut. It says that the internal audit team addressed this to the Chief Executive Officer and the Deputy Director of Finance. You understand that?
Yeah.
So, and it has a list of the individuals that were given in invoice books and the value of the invoice books. For instance, you have Jibril Dabo. The total value of the invoice book is $2,713,794. And Marie Gomez, $813,800. So you have the itemized list for each individual and the invoices, the corresponding invoices that are outstanding as at this time. So why would you not see this report when it is addressed to you?
Normally, what I do when I receive such reports, because I can recall in the case of the external audit report,
Yes.
When management was supposed to respond,
Yes.
I called my team and we sit together to brainstorm and respond. Because at the time I was new in the council, so most of the issues that the management needed to respond to did not find me there. So I needed information from the team, from the director, deputy director of finance, Sirif Nyai,
Right.
the then acting CEO.
Right.
Yes, so this...
So that's the internal audit.
If I had received, no. If I had received this, I was going to engage the team to look into it. Yeah, maybe it was, normally this thing, though it is addressed to the CEO, but I did not, and this is a draft.
Yes.
This is a draft.
And why is it important? Why is it important that it's a draft?
It is not finalized. It is not the final report.
How do you know that?
I saw here that it is a draft. I am seeing this thing for the first time today.
But yeah, it is the draft. It means you have to respond to it, huh? No one responds to it. Not only you. The auditor would be sending to the CEO. Sometimes they will copy the finance committee. The mayor would sometimes be copied or sent this document because they're answerable to the council, and also they communicate to the CEO as well. As a council, it does not appear to be the culture. It doesn't appear to be the culture of dealing with internal audit reports, addressing them adequately. That is not a culture in KMC. As far as we have seen, we stand to be corrected at the level of the lawyers, but we haven't seen that. We have not seen that. Or is that statement wrong?
The audit report that I dealt with, that is the external audit report.
Yes.
I sat my management team and we responded accordingly.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one, if I had received it, I was going to take action.
But I'm saying the period you have served at council level as CEO, you will agree that you have never dealt as a council, meaning the the administrative staff which you had and the political staff that the mayor heads, your SMTs that you have, your individual meetings with the mayor. There is no evidence that you guys have dealt with or you are even interested in internal audit findings. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do, but for me,
Yes.
I don't ignore such issues.
No, it's a joint responsibility. I'm not saying all of you. All of you, there is no evidence of dealing in depth in relation to these findings. To take it as a matter of concern, as a priority issue, have it in any of your SMT meetings as an agenda issue, discuss it at length, actions to be taken.
But normally when this thing is received, it is dated. It is dated in the way book.
That it is received. We don't have the way book.
The way book to the CEO's office. I don't know when this was submitted, but I did not see this thing.
So we don't have the way book?
Yeah.
But
no, but it can be requested from the council.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but again, so that's not even the most important thing. The most important thing is if you have an audit department, even let's assume they haven't provided audit reports, they haven't even submitted audit reports. Let's assume that's even the issue. It has to be demanded.
It has to be demanded. But council, myself, I had issues, and to be frank, I went to a point that I even wanted to go to the ministry to request them to move me to another council because I was not happy, with the way things were happening at the council. I confided in few directors at the council and even a colleague CEO.
Yes.
Yes.
And so?
No, I thought of going to the ministry to request because of when our differences, started becoming too much.
That's why I said you have had differences with council. That is the fact. But before you've had your difference with council, so many things were being done wrong by council, and it was never addressed.
I thought I would have the free environment to bring in suggestions.
Never going to have the free environment, not in this country.
So when I realized that, I thought about, going to the ministry to request for them to move me to another council.
They will never solve the problem. You go to another council, you find the problems there, and experts are employed to solve problems. That's what we do. We go to school for a reason, to study a certain discipline for a reason. Right. To be able to solve problems. So the idea that we want to see convenience in what we do, it will never solve problems. There are equations out there waiting to be solved. When you were applying for the job, you gave the impression that you are qualified for the job, that you are a problem solver, and you have knowledge and experience in solving the problem. That probably would be the reason why you were employed. Your qualifications. Mm-hmm. I'm saying you as in any other person are employed in the public service.
Yes.
So if that is the case, and we just do it to the best of our ability and the right way that we know how. It is time for us to move to another department, we move. That's what we do.
Council, in KMC, it was a different case.
Go ahead.
The situation was so rigid. But the environment was so rigid.
I understand.
That it would be, especially for a woman. Yeah. I know what I had experienced in that place.
I don't doubt that. See, I don't doubt that. But when things like irregularities happen, now you would be lucky to have anyone listening to you to understand your position, that it was a rigid situation, it was a very hostile environment, to a point that you would be given a free pass. You would be lucky to have someone to understand, because you hold a position of responsibility. The CEO is the highest administrative office in council. So you are answerable to to the council. One of the commissioners asked you on several occasions for certain things to have you put it in writing. Did you write to ask for Y? Did you write to query Y and Z? Where is the evidence that you wrote to request for X, to give your professional opinion about Z, to say it is not in line with policy, we should not do this? Today,
I barely settled in at the council. I spent only 18 months there. So I was on the verge of taking all those necessary steps when this issue came up.
No,
because they knew I was going to take that further step, or those further steps.
But 18 months is a long time.
Yeah, I needed to familiarize, myself with how things work, and also to dig information, and the information leads you to another information. So definitely, it was tough for me.
Okay, I understand it was tough for you. I get it. I agree with that. I don't understand the duration of duty. I'm sorry. I have to apologize for that. I do not understand that part. I understand the hostile environment that you have depicted. I do not agree for once that our institution should be micromanaged. And what happened in KMC?
That is what we found.
From the evidence we have, that's what it suggests. But I am saying that it's not a ground.
The CEO being the highest position of responsibility in the council, that is just on paper, but in reality, you have no powers.
You have powers. The law says you have powers.
The law says so, but in that environment, it is difficult to exercise your powers.
That is why you have to do what you have to do. That is why you have to put things in writing. Your communications must be in writing. If you are to leave the job, you leave the job honorably. Honorably. That's why you put things in writing. That's why when things are going wrong and you don't agree, it is not our private property, all of us. So when you work there, you don't work there as if it is your private property. No one should have that mindset. So that when if it is time for you to leave, you leave. It has to be it has to be an ongoing thing. There has to be progression. No one can claim ownership of our institutions. So I understand the idea that the environment to you as you depict it is hostile, is not friendly, and so it was calculated to frustrate people that do not want to be part of the system. But the idea that you would even acquiesce to that also is where you're responsible, because the law says, and if you look at the manual itself, it says you would be responsible. That does not mean others are not responsible. No, that does not mean the mayor is not responsible, the finance director. Everyone has their responsibility. But for your part, as CEO, if you look at the financial manual, it clearly talks about your responsibility. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
And it talks about the fact that some of the functions that you do, you are primarily responsible. It says the Chief Executive Officer, that's 202, Chapter 2 of the Financial and Accounting Manual for Local Government Area Councils, that the Chief Executive Officer shall be appointed by a Local Government Service Commission. The council do not appoint you. They only recommend, and they will sit and have a say, but they don't make the final decision. As the accounting officer of council, he or she shall be responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial and accounting operations of the councils and the safeguarding of council's assets in accordance with the relevant sections. He is personally responsible for the due performance of the financial duties of council, the observation by employees of council of all financial and accounting instructions issued from time to time, and the list goes on. So where you fail to do what you are to do because of the actions of one man or one woman, that will not absolve them, but that may not also absolve you. You understand that?
Yeah.
Yes. So we have one more for today. When you come back, we will deal with the external audit report. January to March.
During my time, I only received one external audit report.
Yes,
as
yes.
CEO, yes.
Yeah, when you come, we will deal with that. We have one internal audit report for the period 1st January to 31st March 2021. You were present, as this one was addressed to the Office of the Lord Mayor, and copied is the Chairman and Accounts and Audit Committee. Do you understand?
Yes.
And so, let me just read to you one or two findings. We have, it says there were issues of payment vouchers that were not on page, the page is not numbered. It says payment vouchers, that there were also the already paid and released payment vouchers without audit verification was strongly condemned. There were issues regarding payment vouchers that were not audited. Do you understand that?
There were issues of payment vouchers that
Were
were
not audited.
okay.
Because for every payment voucher, it has to pass through audit.
Yes.
So the auditor found that several payment vouchers were not processed through audit,
For which period?
January to March 2021. You understand?
Can I see the vouchers that were not?
So the vouchers are not attached for this one. But that's probably one of the issues that the auditor highlighted, that there will be payments made on some occasions and the vouchers would not be audited.
For me, I made sure that it's, the payments go through the internal audit.
But the internal auditor has no qualification, does not have the qualification to man that office. Do you think he would have been in a position to perfectly scrutinize the payments and give his honest opinion without qualification? Was he in the position to give an honest professional opinion regarding the whether the certain payments were in line?
To audit the payments,
Yes.
I believe he should be able to do that.
No, but you cannot say yes, he lacks capacity in the one hand, and in the other that he should be able to do that. Council itself says that he does not have the capacity. If he doesn't have the capacity, it means for all the payments that he was endorsing, they're also.
For me, I did not understand how he became the internal auditor.
Why?
I found him as the director of
Internal auditor.
internal audit in the council.
Okay.
So that's an issue I found there, and I did not understand how it happened.
All right. Thank you so much. Unless there are questions that the commissioners will ask you, when you come back, we will deal with some few issues and the internal audit for the period that you served, 2020.
Thank you.
Unless there are questions, you can wait for.
Sonko, during your time, did the finance director provide you with reconciliations?
I remember we asking him to do the reconciliations. Yes.
But did he present reconciliations?
I cannot recall unless I
the-
see it from him. Bank reconciliations.
You cannot recall?
The finance director?
Yes, presenting bank reconciliations.
No.
In other words, you are saying he has never done any reconciliation that was submitted to you.
Yes, that was submitted to me.
And at any point in time, were you aware that there were in-house checks that were drawn drawn in favor of various account holders? And what is contained in the voucher and what is paid in the bank account are different. Did you come across this?
No, I'm hearing it.
A very simple reconciliation that is done has exposed the fact that over 32,092,836.17 was the differentials between what is contained in the vouchers, that is the vouchers that have been presented to us, and what has been paid via check in the bank statements paid to people. Were you aware of that? And
I
that
am
is between the period that
I am hearing it for the first time.
we will present it to you, and you will help us understand these things.
Thank
I
you.
am just putting it now so that you can have a thought about it and look at your accounts before we come to deal with your budget and your accounts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We will call you back, and we will get the documents that we have requested from the council.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. You can place your stuff on the table. Okay, welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters. What is your religion? Can you speak into the mic?
Hello, yes, pardon, I don't get you.
Speak into the mic. Look at the way I'm holding the mic. Can you hold it the same way? Speak
closer.
Hello, yeah.
Okay. Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters. What is your religion?
My religion?
Yes.
I'm a Muslim.
Speak into the mic, please.
I'm a Muslim.
Great. In which language do you wish to make your testimony?
Mandinka.
Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation?
No problem.
Speak into
No problem.
Okay, you wish to swear by the Holy Quran.
Okay.
Do you wish to swear by the Holy
Yes.
Okay, Madam Chair, the witness wishes to swear by the Holy Quran. Hold the Holy Quran for me. And then repeat after me. I speak into the mic, please. I Alieu Danso, do swear that
we swear that
I'll speak the truth,
I speak the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness for us to proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Danso.
Mr. Danso, we go to already.
Yeah, afternoon.
Can you move forward your chair, Mr. Danso, so that you can speak into the mic? Thank you.
We go to already.
I'm fine.
You are welcome, Mr. Danso.
Ako ibe bisip like anje,
Yeah, Allah baraka.
Council, we may proceed.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Can you tell the Commission what your full name is?
Ako san besula mena wala mu ito ni kondo.
Ntomo Alieu Danso lati.
Alieu Danso are my names.
Danso, what is your address?
Ako ibe sawatri binto.
Serakunda,
my address.
What is your occupation?
Ako mune mela do koti.
business o.
I'm a businessman.
What kind of business do you do?
Ako di ko nka business ole ke mo business si vale.
Nka koda wa foke, nka bullo ke, nka bohol direli ke.
We will need you to increase your voice.
Okay. Yes, I do sales compounds, I drill boreholes, animal.
Poultry.
And poultry.
So in dealing in real estate, do you have a registered business?
Ako bari iko dale wafi. Ako for ila business o ya register ba?
Ha nga register.
Yes, I do.
We would ask that you please provide your registration document. Do you have them with you?
Ako sign besula la bari iko ha ya register le besula la o kaito la mi alon ko ya register le. Jinin karo menti sign wala wo kaito abe bala jamba fo.
Hani?
No.
We would ask that you provide, you produce your business registration documents.
Ako sign bari iko abe ya soto le bala mantri bulu jang ako puruke hakli bulandi ko besula la jampro ya samanang ila business wala registration oni.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what is your educational background?
Ako sign anadung ila londo to ila karango adarudla na dandula.
Okay.
Your educational background.
Ako ila karango ya dati mintole andi ya la ba mintole.
Ndanda grade 6.
I stopped at grade 6.
Primary 6.
Primary 6.
Speak into the microphone, please.
Primary 6.
Primary 6.
Primary 6, okay. Which year was that? Which year?
1980.
1980.
You recall, can you read and write?
Ako ni safero mo kaito di lamia ko safero le isa karam dano ka karam no le wala ifam ka safero no le.
Nka do ke no la barma na karaw man jamfa baake.
Yeah, my education is not high, but I can be able to do some of them. Read or write.
You recall giving a statement to the investigators?
Ako haklo ba kan ko ine nata janne ye nyini ka kalmol la inata fo ka men for statements.
Nga statement okay janne.
Yes, I do.
We will show you a copy of the statement.
Ako sani beku teku kala foka o kaito itandla wala mkaito emendi la tempori fo nga jube fo wala mba wala what.
Wala mu.
Yes,
yeah,
this is
a copy be mbulle.
This is my own statement and I got the copy.
We apply to tender the statement of the witness into evidence as an exhibit.
Ako sign te ku kala fo ila statement o sign ba dundila ka ke sede ramoli.
Okay.
Very well.
The witness statement dated the 10th of May 2023 is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/AD in brackets 1/KMC/001.
As the commission places. Now, in your statement,
Ako signing tate fa la kalmola memo ila statement oti.
Yeah.
you had explained your relationship with KMC in relation to a land you were to sell to the Staff Welfare Association.
Ako je ifa ona ta kalmol fo wala e kumol fo mi yalon ko woy nin KMC ngulu fenke nyola ko me ifa o keno soto ilafta men wa fila nung.
Do you recall
for
this?
KMC Staff Welfare. Ako haklo be o kanaba?
Hakilo ba kan?
Yes, I do.
And your relationship with Sainabou Martin Sonko, the then CEO,
Ako fanang ini ila kafo ini Sainabou Martin Sonko mi yalan ko wala kata nunje ila kebati dung wala CEO.
and the issue regarding the allegations of bribery of $30,000.
Andum fanang aketa fenti mi yalan ko jang tumero le keta je mi yalan ko iko ay ko dole ta wala ko dole di elementa da fo wili tansaba menin silo manta.
You recall all this?
Ako haklo be wol be kanne.
Hakilo ba be kan?
Yes, I do remember.
Now, please explain to us what was the relationship you had with the Staff Welfare Association in relation to the buying and selling of land or plot of land.
Ako san belafri men na wala ifango ya senandi ya fo mori nga kalamuta badia men dunta wala choko men dunta inin KMC kolu tema ika men fo KMC kolu la welfare staff olu.
Okay. KMC ngesa fe letter roll la.
I wrote to the KMC.
Amanke KMC da mati.
It's not only KMC.
The KMC like that more follow the many reply.
But it was the only it was KMC who first wrote a reply to me.
Kabira reply e ko lafta kanje.
When they wrote a reply to me, they were requesting me to see me.
So ye date dinna pour ni eta ni si.
There they gave me an appointment, a date for me to go and sit with them.
Do you have the letter?
Ako letter obe bulle ba esa fenu menna. Ka fo ko sulate la.
Letter of course I have no office okono.
Yes, I do have it in my office.
Can you please produce the letter?
Ako pro letter obe issue of fanan samana no jam.
No nin kaiti manaja.
Ako fo issue of fanan samana no.
Ansa samano nin mbanyela na ngaje masamana.
I'll look for it, and when I come across it, I'll bring it to this commission.
Please proceed.
Ako continue.
Kabirin tata ni Jaja Chamla Mita.
When I went to the KMC, I first met with the Jaja Cham.
Member nite mawalang bolong bajiti.
But the mediator between myself and them is one bolong baji.
Walang samba Jaja Cham ya akatla CEO tinu.
He was the one who took me to Jaja Cham and introduced me to him to say that he is the CEO.
So Jaja na nginen ka palaso be bulumen tolto.
There, Jaja asked me where did I have that piece of land.
Ngai palaso be mulu kunkujang kachume.
I told him that I got a piece of land at Kunkujang Kachume.
Akonyente fen ni keno la council la fitala laboral la fitala le.
He said to me that the laborers, they want that said plot of land.
But in the film answer dinner phone in Tata side visiting call a fita.
But there he said to me that he cannot have anything to tell me. There will be no answer unless if they visit the site.
A date arrange aketa sibitolti.
Then there we have an appointment, a date, and it falls on Saturday.
Ni tata kachume.
There we went to Kachume.
Ndani na moto.
I took my car, I used my car.
Etolning moto saba.
They went with about three vehicles.
And staff will be men la fitala.
That's the staffs, those who are interested.
Kabiri ni fulra ye.
Upon our arrival,
Ngita moto kono.
I get off from the vehicle.
Ni tata lano nyento.
We then went to the site at the land.
Nga lano yimbe murung.
We walked around all the said plot of land.
Kabiri yeje.
After they saw the land, they said now we can go.
So Kabiri said,
when we left back home,
Ntata council.
I went to council.
Inata fonyo ko tanim sula telambe kumandilale.
There they told me to go whenever the need arise, they will contact me.
So Kabiri sulo futatamma.
When the need arise,
yang kumandin tata.
I was called and I went therein.
Eko sign a contract ko signé.
There they told me now we can sign a contract.
Near business or start.
Then we can start the business.
Ploti killing 60,000 ni benda world.
But we agreed each of the plots costing them 60,000. That is the agreement between myself and them.
It will staff all tata kanya mo cheme mo taworo ani woro wula.
But their staff came. The amount, all the staff together is 170.
Taworo wula.
75.
167.
67.
167.
167 staffs, those who are interested.
Near business or start world.
That is how we started the business.
Be joro cheka.
Where they were paid.
Almost Sainabou mantara in the picture man Sainabou long.
But at that time, Sainabou was not in the picture because at that time I did not know Sainabou.
Ning jajare be business onyen kono.
The business was myself and Jaja.
So one lundo sorota.
There was a day.
Jaja on call.
Jaja happened to call me.
Akonyanga meeting on soto council.
He informed me that they had a meeting at council.
Left a yamabe.
And they want me to be present therein.
Ntata o meeting dula.
Of which I did. I went there.
Kabum for the meeting dula.
Upon my arrival at the meeting,
Galwe meeting ola.
They were ahead of the meeting.
Jaja na da fonye see follow yambatunga pare.
Then Jaja told me to sit and wait until he's ready.
Kabiri pare meeting ola.
After they were ready from the meeting,
Jaja na tang kumandala office okono.
Then Jaja invited me to his office.
Akonye ngiye kumandi kairala.
He said to me, I call you here is peace.
Akonye sign tebe jambula lale.
He said, now very soon I will leave here.
Modola na harjanga ikafa Sainabou Martin left any wala buludu na nyobulu.
Somebody came who is going to take over. It's called Sainabou Martin, and I want to introduce you to her.
Left any wala continue.
I want you to go ahead with her.
Left a call loni nyola.
So that you can, this is what I want, so that you can know each other or one another.
Nga brief la nunko.
I had briefed her before.
Council ni molbe business ola.
That there is a business going between council and one person.
Mba mari fana invite la janne.
I will invite the person herein.
Ina mari fana si.
So that you can sit with that person.
Jaja wala ke.
That is what Jaja did.
Ayin Sainabou nyalo ni nyola.
That is how he introduced me to Sainabou.
Oni Sainabou la nyolo keta wolto.
That is how I knew Sainabou.
Ni Sainabou continue business ola.
That is how I continued business with Sainabou.
Yeah.
Now, you had signed the agreement with Sir Cham didn't see you.
Ako amunta ko atolla benkango to mi alon ko aliya sign le même agreement ini Jaja atolla sign.
Ni Jaja Cham.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, there were payments that were due to you, correct?
Amunta ko joro le tutaje, joro nyanta kala bar joro le tutaje. Yes.
Sainabou Martin came and informed you.
Ako Sainabou Martin nata foego.
That the land is an agricultural land. There has to be change of use.
Ako jele Sainabou nata foego bare yecheno meita ndolla wo musede kunkol leti sa nyantale ka ayelemandi.
Correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So you needed some money from Sainabou?
Ako je itina rasula ko dola Sainabou buluba.
As advance payment to effect the change of use?
Pour ka je ko pour e awanso dundi pour sa je yo ko yelemandi ka bondi Sainabou kunkol do ka ke si lato.
Aninta mansura Sainabou bulu ko dola pour ka o yelemandi ka.
No, I did not need money from Sainabou to do that.
What did you instruct her to do?
Ako ite mune fa nyanta menkela.
For
what I told her,
Sainabou ndengini kala ko nyimu garden neti.
She asked me that the land is a garden.
Isa iba ela man la yake residential.
You can change it to be a residential place.
Nkai o manke problem o tembo ke no la.
I told her that that is not a problem, or that will not be a problem. I can be able to do
Nta
it.
fongola na kaitol be falling.
Myself, I changed my own papers.
Ngana kaitol be falling.
I changed the papers.
Ngana kaitol sambaye.
I took the papers to them.
Kabiri yaye.
After they saw the papers,
akonyen la fitala 10.
as he said to me, this is the way we like it.
Okay.
I say, okay.
Now, in your statement, second page, you said, having discussed with Sainabou, I told her that I may want some. Before that, Sainabou later told me that the said land is an agricultural land and told me to change the land use from agriculture to residential use so that the council can get into the transaction and the said land with me. Of the said land with me. Having discussed with Sainabou, I told her that I may want some part payment to begin the process of changing the land from agricultural use to residential, and later received a check of $200,000 from Babukar Sanyang and withdrew the said money from Ajib Bank and applied and changed the land from agricultural use to residential and took copies of the said document to Sainabou.
Ako nyingete fango la kuma kamote nyaaju be la statement do kayto fula nyango ifango nyine fako kabiri ni Sainabou sita fango na tay tandila ko ha bari yo keno me ndadi ndol la wonata kay sene kenoti wala gadi nolem jele ifango ya fo je ko utumole inata diama ko isi o kenole bare ko dole manchete so ninche Sainabou se ma ko no ko dole baje la be ko dole tala ka ta o kayto yele mandi ila kuma kelingol de hansa ifango nata fako jele inata chego di la menta ta fo wili cheme fula ifango e menta itata ko do ta Ajib Bank yo kodo ta itata kaytol falling inata o kaytol sambe nan KMC office oto ako fo ama ifon la ko mon leñinde
mfon la kuma kan la bar amanke ko ngakodol tabulo ko no.
Yes, that is my own statement.
Karo kalle kanda jo.
It doesn't mean that I have taken monies from her.
Karo kalle kanjo.
They used to pay me every month.
Atabe nyini kala waro men otumo karo ma fa kodo tembulu.
The time she was asking me at that time, that was before the end of month. And there was no money with me. That is I said to her, if I am paid, I can go and transfer the papers. That was the time I was paid.
That's what I asked. Now, monies were outstanding, the transaction has to move. You have said in your statement that Sainabou, through Babukar Sanyang, requested $1 million from you.
Ako jele nata foko Sainabou le nata kodo nyininka ite fe bara nyininka nyama manke afangole ni te diam talde amunta ko Babukar Sanyang wala mala kilariati wala nata ka foy ko Sainabou ko alafta kodo la menta 4 million kodo dala soni pour isi o diala si o dila.
Yes, Tonyalamu.
Yes, that is true.
Babukar ndani Sainabou mandiamu.
I don't communicate with Sainabou.
Babukar lang call one day.
One day it happens, Babukar called me.
Akonye ko Sainabou ko million kilindiala.
And said to me that Sainabou said she wants you to give her 1 million.
Purasi makoi.
So that she can assist you.
Asi 4 million odila.
She can give you 4 million.
Isaye 1 year kane jo.
So that there will be an interval of 1 year without we paying to you.
Ko Babukar kodo tembul me mendila Sainabou la.
I said to Babukar that I have no monies that I can give to
Sainabou. Ko Babukar nyimunta fawala kodolti.
I said to Babukar, this is my own monies.
Al kajo nyama al kontinali ajo nyama but 1 million tembul me mendila Sainabou la.
The way you people are paying it to me is that is how I receive it, but I don't get 1 million that I'm going to give it to Sainabou.
Did Sainabou Martin ever ask that you pay her $1 million?
Ako fo Sainabou na anane etenye ngale bampuru ya jo 1 million.
Sainabou na ndani Sainabou mandiamu Babukar la kay kumo fonyi.
The answer is a yes or a no.
Ako ha ketale bamfamanke.
Hani?
No. Good. I have never communicated with Sainabou, only Babukar.
Did she ever ask you to give her any amount by way of kickback for the transaction? Any amount?
Ako fo Sainabou ne nyini ka kodo la me ala ko pour ka bunya se indi wala ka bala nyabu anane fang kodo nyini ka itla bam pour ya diala ata Sainabou fango.
Sainabou nyini ka kodo la wo mu sinya.
No, kickback. I haven't got to that yet. Kickback. You to bribe her. Did she ever solicit that from you?
Ako fo anane o fo never. Pure kodo di la ka balanya bo wala ka nene so that la hajo menti.
No Sainabou mo fonte.
No Sainabou
na fonye mari member.
Sainabou never told me that. Who told me that? I cannot remember the person.
But at some point in time, you gave her $30,000.
Ako bar watil tam dami alang ko ifango Sainabou ya ye wuli tang diala.
Wuli?
$30,000.
Ako tansaba, wuli tansaba.
Wuli tansaba ngadi Sainabou la mbulo Sainabou bulo.
Yes, I gave Sainabou 30,000 my hand to
mbulo
her.
a bulo. Amanke ko nga mola lunda nate ma mbulo la mu Sainabou bulo 30,000 mfongo la konti ngadi yala.
Doesn't mean that I gave this money to somebody to give to her. No, it's from my hand to her hand.
Can you explain how it happened?
Ako se isa senandi no mole aketa nyadile.
30,000
That 30,000.
Sainabou ya Babukar la call.
Babukar called me
Akonyem fele Sainabou la office oto.
and said to me that he is right now in Sainabou's office.
Sainabou be sula ila bake.
And said to me, Sainabou is in need of you.
Mfongo tara Sainabou fala office oto.
I went to Sainabou's office.
Sainabou ngatarandi ala office.
I found her there in her office.
Akonye Danso nka tamale.
She said to me, Danso, I'm traveling.
Nka ta Senegal le.
I'm going to Senegal,
Bari kolo te mulu.
but I have no money.
Left fu 30,000
I
wala.
want you to borrow me 30,000.
Nimborna Senegal mbela kodo sele.
Whenever I came back from Senegal, I refund you the money.
Ningela kodo se ni mafana mbe mako ilale.
Whenever I refund you the money, I will assist you.
Babu kare 4 million no menfonya no puringe mako isa soto no nyame.
$4 million is that Babukar told me that you wanted. I will help you to get it.
Nkayo umana wala jang.
I told her that no, that doesn't
Iyan
exist.
kumanna menna wala fonye.
What you call me for, you let me know.
Ako abeta Senegal le.
She said she want to go to Senegal,
Kode tabulo kono.
but she have no money.
Ngafu 30,000
Let
wala.
me just lend her 30,000 or borrow her 30,000.
Otunta borna bangle.
From the other time I came from the bank,
Bota kodo takang.
I received money from the bank
Purukana doku lalijo.
so that I can pay my workers.
Na 30,000 o diala wol.
Then from there, I gave her the $30,000.
Nkai nenata.
I said to her, whenever you are back,
Nkane ngini kanna kodo la de.
I don't want to ask you about my monies.
Nenata.
If you come,
Yenna kodo sene.
you refund me my monies.
Ina dunta ni sena
This is
wote.
what I've transpired between myself and her.
Was that money for the purpose of bribery?
Ako wo kodo nying pruka nehal bang bribe lem bang fo.
Haninta man sena bribe de. Sena ko ngafu kodo la bida
I
Senegal.
don't bribe her. She asked me to borrow her some monies, of which I did.
Do you have a company, a business that you go around lending people money?
Ako foi kodo le soto mi aran ko ikamen soto ni ka kodo soto ikadi molla.
Hani?
No.
So why you don't run a business like that? You don't have a business where people will come and ask money from you and then they will pay you.
Amta ko ite safaro membe bulole business o men soto wala mol ka foi kodo dinna ni natan sa wala ndo kodo lan sejo.
Hani? Lanno le ben natema wala sabo nga don tala. Ngalo ko na kodo abe dilan na le.
There's trust between
What kind of trust is there?
between myself and her, and I know that she will refund me the monies.
So what kind of trust?
Ako la jumale be ite na tema.
You have an interest in that office.
Ako amunta ko ite la suro le be ni office ko no.
You don't operate based on trust.
Hani?
Ako
Business.
ni manke ko la ko le munde.
You have a business interest in that
Ako
office.
safaro le be ni jete ma nu interest le be je.
So what trust are you talking about?
Ako sai kamune ladna ko fo jam.
Ha business wala ben ni tema.
Yes, that's quite right.
Yes.
There is a business
So
between myself and her.
atandi na ko nimbota Senegal mbela kodo dire la.
But she assured me that whenever she is back from Senegal, she will refund me the
Wo
money.
believe fola na nga kodo india la.
That belief is the reason why monies were
Man
given.
kodo diala yon kamo ko puru ka.
You have known her before? You have known her before this transaction?
Ako fo inene o kele bandandi be ni ila sulo be je.
Sainabou la side la wa.
Ako Senegal side inene o kele bandandi la sulo be taito la.
Hani?
No,
Anamuna fonye.
she have never informed me or told me about it.
So you have never known Sainabou before?
Ako inene man Senegal lonno.
Sainabou malong
No, I don't know her.
nga Sainabou long KMC le.
I only knew her at KMC.
Yes.
Bari
And you know her as at the time you needed KMC to do business with them.
Ako wato men na ibe sularin KMC la prali business ke iko jamano le te atelong.
wato la nga Sainabou long.
Yes, that was the time I knew her.
So why would we believe you when you say that she asked the money from you because she wants to go to Senegal?
Ako sa you believe la jumale so dami alam ko kabin iko ay nyinin ka kodio la pour alafta ta Senegal.
Ngalong ko abenna kodo sela mala because a position o mento lamu.
I know I have the belief that she will refund me the monies because of her
That is
position.
not true.
Ako manke tonya de.
She testified here.
Ako diam Sainabou diam te jangi koma.
And the testimony is so that she said that you went to her office and you left $30,000 there.
Ako ate mem faja wala itili dunta la office itata je kabri bita inata wili tansabo landi je yatu je.
In fact, two sides of the stories we have. The first is regarding the $1 million.
Ako amunta ko satare fala ketajande follow wala mo $1 million woni.
She said because you needed this business to go on.
Ako bayri ate mem faja wala ite sulatu num pour business woni yeke ay tama.
And she was raising questions regarding the legality of certain things.
Andung fanang ate kanyini kar jamal le kenung ila chenola kuola.
You promised to pay $1 million to her.
Ako jele inata la hidiko ibadi ibe million kilin dilala.
Do you understand that?
Ako yo moile.
Nga moile bar o manke kumati ndani Sainabou tema.
Yes, I heard you, but that is not what had happened between myself and
That's
her.
okay. That's okay.
Nte keno sang.
I bought the land.
You did not buy the land.
Ako cheno ni ite masang.
Stop saying you bought the land.
Ako kana fo janko ite cheno ni sanne de.
You never bought the land.
Ako inene man cheno ni.
You were acting as an agent.
Ako ite la tamo je la loro je wala iketa agent oti je.
Did you pay for the land?
Ako fo ya jole bang cheno ni ya jole.
Ha nga part payment ke keno
Yes,
yendo.
I made a part payment.
How much?
Ako jalu.
Ni wala business o nga 350,000 dira ye transfer din.
I gave them 350,000 and that is the time
How much
I
was
was issued with
outstanding?
the transfer. Ako jole tutanunje.
Ni wal diam tano million fulalla.
I agreed with them 2 million.
So did they not cancel your transaction at some point? Because you did not fulfill your obligations.
Business o alabandula imang business o ning cancel bayri ye la hidi men na iman nake.
Jumanyo likile.
Who are those people?
The landowners.
Ako meno tamu chenolti.
Ani menta mu keno den wal man biso wal yen lano wa fi mo compagnie sabalama.
No, the landowners, I did not try make any business with
They
them.
never canceled
They sold the land to 3 companies.
They never canceled your agreement with them.
Compagnie sabaye lano wa fi wala ma.
Ako sign iteni wolula business o inene ma cancel.
Ntela business o cancel ni tema.
No, I canceled the business between myself
Ni
and them.
tadala for serious crime.
Because we all went to the serious crime.
Was the agreement cancelled or not?
Ako sign iteni itolu aledenta men na alabanta cancel la bang.
Nteni wal tema nga business o nga cancel le.
Between myself and them, I canceled the business.
You know what your problem is?
Ako jayara nem problem over there.
You have, just to be honest, you have to be honest. Just as simple as that.
Ako jang ni tilinta o kasoni ale de.
Why would you cancel the business?
Ako muna na business o cancel.
They gave you $2 million for a plot of land.
Ako wole kodo cheno di la 2 million fla.
And you are going to make a lot of money from it.
And we tell them ko ebe menganya la jabe kala kodi jama.
If you have money to pay, why will you cancel it?
Ako muna na tra kodo be bulu isi menjo pour ka cheno ni so muna na ba cancel la. Wala ka buy.
Me adna nga bay ye palaso ya wa compagnie sabalama.
The reason why I canceled the business, they sold the said place to 3 companies.
Not true.
Ako man tonya ya.
That is not true.
Compagnie sabaya wa fa han kabi wo kaito bebe nda toyal.
They sold the lands to 3 companies while the documents are in my
Han
name.
bi wa kaito bebe nda bulo kono nga kaito men be transfer bebe mbula still now.
And I have those documents that I transferred. They are all with me too.
In this country, 10 people can have the same land document.
Ako jang nimbango ka isaje motang isi denno ko.
You fail to pay them as per your obligation and your agreement with them.
Ako amunta ko albenta kantomento iteman na okay men na ijo.
They were not happy with it.
Ako wolman kontan wo me kontani.
They terminated the contract.
Ako nyinna atinna inata bay ye contract.
Otherwise, you had no reason to terminate the contract.
Ako ni wonte itema resino siri wala mo famo feso to men satinna isa bay.
Because you would have made 5 times more.
Ako bayri tebe men sot la je o be tambele to le men soto.
We know how it works.
Ako ite alo na kontrol ngalo na ka Kenya.
Live in this country.
Banta fole amaje ko tolle contract ko in terminate nda fole na contract ko in terminate because mbadi kan cancel la.
It doesn't mean that they terminated the contract. I myself terminated the contract.
Malafi ngake no di cancel la tabula diamo kono.
I'm giving these lands to council and I don't want them to get this land and after they're involved in now or talking.
Wala nandana council transfer la do to damen alon ka be mbulu ngi transfer ye ko lefta yela.
This is why I transferred council to another place safer than where and I was informed that they like the place.
Not true.
Ako bantonya
Very false.
ako manke kuma lori.
Very misleading.
Ako ikamolle nene.
That is what your story is.
Ako amunta ko ela kuma kamo beja ngamanke wole moti.
You were desperate
Ako
to
ite
have
kata
monies paid to you
ite kata modi mi alam ko itata le fo ipisalta ko do mi alam ko kejo men
by council.
council ka ko do men di
You offered bribery
ako fana je
to a public officer.
ye nene ko do di la ka men for bribery
You call it, I don't know, a credit. Or
ako
what?
ikana je ka fa ko mu don to roleti
She testified and said, you came to the office and left the money.
sine fa nata janne adiamta ay men fo jawole mi fa nata fo ala office to and ye ko do landi jeta
And she admitted using the money.
andum fana faran sontala ko do ta domo
You in fact intentionally left the money there and walk away.
andum ko do fanan ite ye ko do tujele wulte tata
Very dishonest of you to do.
ako sayba je la fende mi alan ko iman tilingela imanya nawkela
Very dishonest.
ako imanya nawkela
And you want to sit here and lie?
andi bina sila jang ko ite ka fani ala fo mo
Think we are here to joke, think we are
ako
kids?
fo amera jan tulum ko le be jamba
Insidi ya unoba.
can I be able to say something?
Absolutely.
Ako hankai
Man na jam pour ka fe ake.
I don't come here to play
Numang kuma fo mamba fani ya fo kan mam fatara fani ya fo.
and I'm not telling you any lie.
Ndama ko do la sene we tabulo kan.
I don't put the monies on the
Ni
table.
ala na la kila tema ngam ko do la sene we
With
tabulo kan.
myself and God, I have never done
Mulo la mu sene u bulo ngam
I
mulo le
gave
ko do
these
sene u
monies to
bulo
Sonko
kan.
hand to hand.
No abe mu 10 100 no so le.
It's all 100 denomination.
Do you know why your story doesn't make sense?
Ako ela sataro be jang ni aje mon yalla ne manat na among sense to wala man lo among ke kuma lori ngoti. No.
Because it would have been easier for Sainabou to say that she asked money from you by way of credit, so she will go to Dakar and come back and pay you.
Ako e baje la be shona no Sainabou bulu pura afoko ate ko do don to ite bulu pura ta Senegal na ta ejo.
It will still be wrong on her side,
Ako e baje la ko atla karola ne o kira e baje la ko hotelo la.
but may not be bribery.
Ako barate ke la bribe ti.
But she admitted
Brazon dale ko
that you left the money
ite ko do
and she
tujele.
used the money.
Anda ta atala.
If she can admit that,
Ate sonda wala.
it's an offense.
Ako tiyaro lem da man.
You.
Man ke silori ite.
You needed money from council.
Ate ko do ta ye ko do so to council bulu.
You requested money from Sainabou to make payment towards the land.
Andu ye nyinin karo ke pour Sainabou ye ko do ta ka dila
Is
pour ka
that
joro.
true or not?
Ako fo mal o man ke to nyata.
Pour ka korota sene u bulo ngata la no yo.
Payment that you were entitled to by way of your agreement with the Welfare Association. That's what I'm talking about.
Ako kodo mi alon ko welfare association no ate wole fokam.
Well, wele fe akande yo every month le kanyo.
They used to pay me every month.
Was the payment coming quite often?
Ako fo
The way it was supposed to come as you pay your agreement?
anyanta kala nyame joro nyanta kala nyame fa ka kenu wole nyama ba karo kare da fata
Was it
ko do.
coming?
Nin karo fat le kanyo.
I've been signaled by the chairperson.
Convenient point to stop. We will continue tomorrow. We may rise.